Good afternoon, it's Saturday. We're going to do some more lady deathwing crafting. So what we're doing today, we're actually making some chains, and to keep them into the loop here, so to speak, is we've got to basically make these chains going down here. Now we've counted like there's 10 each side, so we need to do 20 of these babies. So we've done some pre-making, right? Pre-preparation already. And we've got a template. And what we've done is we've actually measured it out with some tracing paper, but reinforced it with some dedicated useful decorator's tape. Right, so we don't sort of like slice through it when we're doing it, when we're cutting it. Now there's going to be a lot of cutting out with this template. So let's go, shall we? Right, so are you sitting comfortably? Hope you're all well. It's a nice sunny day out here. It's nice and warm in this place. I've just put the heater on for a little while to warm the place up. So what we're going to do, is like, it's going to be like a mass producing of chains at the moment. And this is a lot easier to do, a lot easier to actually mark out when it's been reinforced, so we don't really sort of snap, break it. So we're going to go all the way along here. I'm hoping to see if this will work, otherwise I'm going to use it. No, it's not going to work. So I'm going to use the ballpoint pen. I'm going to go all the way along now, doing like 10 so I'm going to do 5 of these, 10 of these. What am I talking about? Honest to God, I'm losing the plot here. Stuff in here. Let's get some air in here. I'll be overcome by fumes from the contact season. What I do now as well is go and get a little bit there, and then I decided to get that belt done without having to basically go straight on to doing all the rest of it along the webbing, which I've basically got to think of a way of actually doing this. That'll work. Now, my status on Twitch at the moment is I've currently got the road to affiliation. I've literally got one criteria to do. It's a bit complicated to actually try to explain. I think you've got to get excess amount of viewers at one time on one stream over a 7-day period or 30-day period. I can't remember. That's all I've got. I've clocked up at least 1,000 odd hours on this. So I'm not in any hurry to actually do this. It's just a fun bit of actually doing a crafting stream. I mean, I don't mind gaming, but I wouldn't basically be glued to do a stream now for 4 hours, inside the house where, I've got to make use of this craft room. To be honest, it's literally, it cost me quite a bit of money. So I'll just go along with the flow, If I get Twitch affiliation, I get Twitch affiliation. It's not going to. I try and do more of these crafting streams because I don't sort of repeat. Try to say, okay, I've got some modifications to make. I did stream for a while because I wanted to actually have new content available for you to enjoy. You see, so we, because I want to sort of like keep it fresh. Two, 4, 6, 7. So I'm going to do the whole lot. I'm going to do 20 of these all in one, hopefully all on one sheet of foam. I will have to double check my stock of foam because all of like the Lady Deathwing stuff is all going to be in 5mm foam, but heavily reinforced but lighter because if you're wearing this, if you're wearing this, you want she has actually got to be made comfortable. It might be I've got to try and make it bomb proof but light. You know what I mean? I've got to make it bomb proof but light for her because from about 10 o'clock in the morning at Comic Con to about 6 o'clock in the evening. If you go to like MC and you maybe go and cosplay the after show party, or just basically go, go back to the hotel 6 o'clock, basically like just chill out, get changed into your normal clothes. Of course, what we want to do, we have to actually make, because my friend Sophia has not basically cosplayed before, and I'm trying to basically make, feel, that she's, I don't want to like put her to stress. If you haven't done it before, you're going to get a lot of people probably, hopefully, I mean, it's like May next year, hopefully give us some like positive feedback on like what she's wearing. I said to her, it's up to you if you want to sort of say you actually made it yourself. Ask her, do you want me to go enter it for like the masquerade, right? And I'll basically put the WIPs, and I say, right, okay, she can actually enter the masquerade, right? And I'll basically, if I can do this, if I can enter the masquerade, her costume when she's wearing it into the masquerade, I would actually basically do like the work in progress reference sheets, right, and get her to be judged, and she can actually win the prize money if that happens. But it's not going to last. Highly unlikely. I've already won one masquerade, but you know, okay, that's a small one, but it was fun. You know, it's quite an honour, quite sort of an achievement that you actually win your first masquerade. Okay, it's not a major one like MCM. It's just, I like the building of it, you see, it's fun, it's a fun bit. Sorry, I'm going on, I'm making small talk here while I'm actually doing this, so it's going to take ages. And I can use the same lines where the other ones are. I suppose I could try, you know, I could actually, you know, thinking about it, I could actually sort of knock up a blender drawing on my PC inside the house, and then basically put it off my appendix and actually use like the 3D printer. I'll think about that next time. I don't sort of be making stuff. It's okay for work because, you know, if you're taught, you know, it's just basically common sense because it's my own 3D printer. I've got to really sort of, you know, make sure it can be used properly, not just basically like a white elephant. Bad news yesterday, my wood burning tool burnt out. It's basically broken. So what happened was Amazon, okay, I ordered one from Amazon yesterday, and there's my new one. Got the all the bits, the actual proper. It's even got a thermostat on it, and also a ruler. It's got like bits and pieces. It's got like stencils. It's got like stencils you can play around with. All different designs. So we have a play along with it. Oh hello. What have we got here? We even got like a metal stencil to actually lettering. Numbers. Wow. Not bad for £18 for them, I could use my butane powered Dremel soldering iron. Problem is that's, you know, I think what happens is when you actually burn into foam, or even using it to weld water, it does sort of like wear the nib out a little bit. I could have actually got this cut on a CNC machine, because you need a very fine cutting head, blade to get a very, very, very fine cut, because if you use it too much, and of course, if you use it at like quite a high speed on EVA foam, you know, like thick, it just generate a lot of swarf. Right, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we've got another 6 to do. Yesterday, after I finished streaming, I actually had a very good old sweep up. The on this far wall, behind the laptop, okay, that's going to be my props wall. But what's happened is there's been a bit of a problem on the delay of the actual panel. It's like a slotted panel. I've got the hangers, and that's where I'm going to put my props. And 3 times I actually phoned them. I sent them an email yesterday and also a posting on their Facebook page about it. And I wasn't happy because it's about 170 odd pounds that's come out of my account, but I haven't received the goods. And I ordered them back in September. You know, during like just about a week after they finished the work. It's only when I had a phone call from the actual company yesterday, because like the lady actually works from home because of COVID, that they're actually going to sort it out for me. And the good news is they are actually going to install it for me. And what's more, speaking to the judge on Sunday when I was speaking to like one of the officials at the Cosplay Central at the MCM, while I was queuing up for the judges, okay, to actually be judged. And she was looking to actually get her outhouse converted into a home studio. So actually basically put a recommendation to her to use the company that I've actually got this done, called mygarageMakeover.co.uk. And the positive feedback I have from the judges, one was dressed as Sailor Moon, the other one was dressed as one of the characters out of Dragon Ball Z. So I've done a lot of detail on it. But mind you, the winner, the third place was a Hobbit. Third place was a Hobbit. I forgot the second, but I noticed the first place was the actual Guardian, Tooth Guardian from Guardians of the Galaxy. That was a mean, that one, little fairy wings and that. That was a mean cosplay. That was. You know, even got the eyes. And boy, were they scary. And I was speaking is her daughter's cosplay at an early age, right? Seamstress, so any like robe cosplay, you know, fabric cosplay that needs to be done, she's there to actually do everything. She even like bought a sewing machine once at a hotel. Two, 4, 6, 7, 14, 15, 16. Now 4 to go. Right, that's a basic good calculation. Like actually, literally, I might as well do this all. I mean, it's like I'm like a production factory here. I know it looks a bit sort of samey, but the thing is, you know, I'm just going to get all of these chains done all in one hit. And I basically literally at the edge here, I've literally had a bit of a space because when you get it delivered, you've got this bevel there. And if you've got like a sort of a very, very steady hand with a scalpel or scissors to actually make that straight. That's a handy edge to have when you basically glue in to make armour, because you need to do it 45 degrees, you know, and then glue it together. I wanted to watch something on Netflix and I decided to actually watch Squid Games. That dull in like green light, red light, God, man, she's scary. Seriously, she is absolutely scary. That's all like those eyes. What I do is I won't. What I like about this costume is Lady Deathwing is all like the chains that you've got on it. You've got the chains on the headpiece. You've got the chain on both on the dragon horns, like both sides. You know, it's also you've got a chain on the face guard, which I basically got to try and sort out a system for when it's going to be worn. And what I don't want to do is actually have a massive big painting backlog. It's in stages, so what you've got to do is you've got to prepare it, right? For example, if it's like a sort of a bright colour, right? I don't paint the colour straight on it, I actually prep it first. If it's a bright colour that's required, say if it's silver, right? I won't put a black paint on it, black flexi paint, I'll put a white flexi paint. Really shake it up, mix it up, and basically completely do it, otherwise it's just going to soak through. You basically see some of the black. It depends if it's a solid colour, you know to do one coat of light silver and then another. So basically not transparent or just a mist coat. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 2 more to do. I might be able to. Oh, well, I'm able to get that. Shit, I hope this will work. Okay, we are down to our last. We've just got our last 2 now. So I'm basically going on. I don't want to be cutting them, going over to the Dremel, repeating. If I do only one hit, right? So literally, it's like a production. There's going to be a lot of detail. I'm going to try and get this site set. Showing off? No, it's just that I'm not showing off. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to score that down here. So it's literally got like a straight edge. No, it's basically just straight on there. Oh, that's handy to have, that is. Right, so that's that done. You can actually do it any depth. Right, let's put that back now. I'm going to find my. I'm just going to literally tidy this up a bit before. Oh. So I've got like a resurrected, like a old recycle bin that basically, for your race food gave it good old disinfect and use that to actually keep all the offcuts of foam. And I basically do go through them and actually basically chucking up any sort of like really small bits that I'm not going to use. You do generate a lot of waste foam in making this, to be honest. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do this edge first here, so just do it a little bit inside there, like so. Mark it out. And then just put that around there, so literally will stick. So we've done that edge now, all you need to do is just around here. And I can put that safe and actually reuse that again. just depending like my next cosplay needs like sort of bigger chains. I can literally cut each one out, right? I could have actually just used that one to start off with and then just basically go boom, 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 but you know, I don't want to be in a rush for this. This is my sort of like, this is my credibility at stake. That, you know, I'm doing a shit, you know, people come in and go, no, you're doing a shit job here, Andy. Right, I think I need a new blade for this. Yeah, I'm going to have to basically get a new blade for this, I'm afraid. Oh, let's try that blade, let's try this one. Right, let's just do some blade changes on here. Blade. Always look after your equipment. I did have a really good box knife until it's gone walkies. I don't know. I'll tell you what, I'm not lending any bloody tools out to anybody, you know, because I basically come back lost, come back damaged, and they just laugh about it, say not my problem. Or, you know, you basically been chasing, goes, where the hell's my standing knife? Where the hell, you know, I don't lend any tools out. I'll lend them out to cosplayers, you know, in case you're in, you know, deep, if they're in like stuck. But I wouldn't lend them out to like people to do DIY. Because, you know, I mean, doing this is, you know, I just literally accumulated it, you know, built up the tools, not just, you know, there's no point if, like, if you wanted to start doing it, buy all the tools and suddenly you can't do it, you're just wasting your money. You know, at least if you have the tools here, you know, if you need to do like DIY stuff, you know, like hot hair gun, if you basically like stripping off paint off wood. If you're stripping paint off wood, it's no dealing. But if it's you know, that you want to use it for both sort of tasks, you know, armour building and DIY, no problem there. Right, it's better to have a sort of sharp blade on here than not at all. Right, so we've got two sharp ladies now. Then I'm just going to cut each one out individual, take your time. Three, 6, 9, 12, 15. there, so I know that's been going to bin. And all the rest of it I can actually take and use for like other stuff. I will have to double check a count, but I've actually got plenty on here. Right, so there we go. That's all 20 chains. D-O-N, all cut out. And we need to do the centres now. I'll just double check a count. Just double check counting wise. Right, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So there's 20 there. There we go. You have to be very careful with this because we need to cut the inside out, and I'm going to use, so we've got a new blade on the scalpel, so we're not going to go in there blunt. We're going to carefully cut out the inside. Right. Be right back, folks. Just gonna get a drink. Right, I'm back. So I forgot to put it on my intermission. There you go. Well, this is like a production. It's like a mobile factory here. Churn out loads of these. It's worse than not doing magna coals. Boy, was that time consuming. Seem to think you've had enough, realise you've got a massive sort of a gap and you've got to put them all. Cutting out, gremlin, gluing, heating to actually profile around the dragon's horn or the armour. And, oh my god, never mind. It's done. Trouble is I've still got more of it to do, particularly on the leg armour. I'm actually going to change those braces on there. The ones I've got at the moment are 10mm, and the ones I've actually built are 5. Ones I want to build are 5mm. I might even do a new build of those and not scrap the old ones, previous, but put them on my props wall. You know what? I've got to hand it to the artists that basically the artists that actually have a table at big comic cons. You know, I don't know what criteria to actually do it. You know, to actually book a table, you pay your money for the table. You know, for like 3 days for the weekend, right? And you know, I mean, what time do you have to get up there? You know, you need 2 people to actually run your stall. You know, one to go and get a cup of coffee while you have a break. You know, you've got one to basically look after it. You know, you just have 2 people. You can't, and of course, you probably have to be up there on Thursday to get a whole lot ready. So you've got to deliver everything by car, go into the loaded bay at Excel, and then be out there, you know, at a certain window. So you've got the next person to actually set up their stall. Remember, I've got to hand it to you guys from actually those artists that basically go, artists and also have cosplayers who have a table at Comic Cons. I've got to hand it to you to do a good job. God, that's right, I'll go here there. I just want to basically not rush this. So that's the pile done. That's the pile to be done. So this is in stages. So we've done the cutting out, we've done the marking out, we've done the cutting out of the of all of them, all 20 of them. Then we actually got to cut the inside, the middle out, and then we've got to do the fun bit of actually basically beveling each side. So that's basically going over to the sanding booth later. Well, I must say this room, the conditions I'm working in now are actually better than I did it we were actually in it last year, to be honest. I don't think I've actually spent another winter like that. Freezing cold, bloody asbestos roof, not very good on lighting because I have like LED lighting in here. Now I've actually got it all on tap. I can relax. Yeah, trouble you've got some people that think it's their fucking man cave, which is not going to happen. Do I look like I've got like a big sofa, or beer fridge, or a 52-inch widescreen TV with Sky Sports on tap? Think again. I mean, people have actually got their goer made it into like a yoga room or a meditate, or you know, wooden floors with a lot, you know, with a easel up, you know. So nice and comfortable in here. In the summer, this place is absolutely cool. So it's scorching hot outside, it's, you know, and in the winter it's cosy. And to think behind this, where the laptop is at the moment, right, which is like camera one with the webcam, behind there was the garage door. Oh shit, the bloody door's still. What's more, I can actually lock myself in it so nobody can come in. And my next door neighbour, he hopes he's going to have like an on-air light, you know, battery operated way that I can flip on and goes on air. I'm not having people like hijack my Twitch stream. Sod that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to invest in some new cutting mats. These are like you see better days. There's glue everywhere, there's paint splats everywhere. Now if it was 10mm foam, I'll be absolutely struggling with this. Maybe I could use a triangle out there. Yeah, that's a thought. Only 5mm foam. one more to do. It's better to be done all at once than basically me going back and forth, doing one of these, drebbing it, cutting it out, drebbing it, and basically like leaving it in there, basically going repeat step one again. I want to do the whole lot all in one hit. So basically you've got a lot of drebbling to do. So last one we'll go to the Dremel booth, to the sanding booth. To the sanding booth. Right, we're D-O-N-E. Done. Right, next task. To the sanding booth, folks. In case you wonder where the 3D printer is, I actually moved it over to here. So I'm going to try and have like a space where I'm going to put this on the floor. Move that sanding booth right back to the back of the sanding belt sander there, so you've got like this. Right, okay, here we are, folks. Let's just go and tip that in there. We've got a little bit of room. I had this made because it's just going to contain all the dust in this one area. So if I needed to use the belt sander, this baby, right, and it's going to be in this position here, it's going to chuck the belt, all the dust to this panel here that I actually put up, especially something there. Sorry guys. Right, hang on. Oops, sorry. Whoops. There we are. So there you go. Camera's failing on me. Cameras are not basically responding. So if I can try and put this up at the fraction, so just get like an overhead view. I think it's okay. Let's have a look at camera 3. I think we're good. Let's put my goggles on. These like this stuff and that. Yeah, as I said, I'm using that sanding booth to keep the dust all in one place, so it's not going to be spread all over the tables. Because otherwise, it'll be there for. I mean, I've got a Hoover, but it's the. I just want it to basically be contained. Just need to see if I've got some more slack in this. Just that's it. Sorry, I thought. What happens if it pops it? If I pull the cable too much, I'm going to one drag the laptop that way. 2, right? The extension cable can actually come out and basically I've got a floating camera. I can basically go into like Streamlabs and actually disable it and re-enable it. Right, let's go. Where are we? That's it. Let's move. Hot glue gun. Actually go over there temporarily. Just basically put that under there. Quick if I get that plot mounting unit up. If it's for me, so I've got like some more space. Try not to make this compact. If I had a double garage and it was basically not being used, right, now that'd be a godsend, right? That would be double the money what I paid to get this done. Right. So I'm using a very small barrel on the Dremel. We're going to go through each individual chain. This is a very fine barrel width-wise, because otherwise, if I make it into the belt sander, it will just get scared chunks out of it. And it's not 3 times like low density foam, such as C45 or C65. Now I'll put the glasses on, I'll put the safety goggles on for reasons, because these standing barrels can tendency to split when they're basically worn away, and they actually have a tendency to actually explode off the actual mounting unit. And I've had an episode in the past where one of these exploded, and literally, as I was working it, it split and they just came off and flew in the air, but hit my glasses, not my actual eye. Now, if you see me, if you guys see me using this belt sander without any gloves, do tell me off, right? Because I usually wear gloves because like this can actually take the skin off, you know. The 100% command is actually gives you a bit more control, because if you have it without this, you just literally start flying away and making it nasty stuff like you've got to do a whole lot of things. Right, so I just basically got to recap where I've got to be with this. So we've got the, I was going to take that off there. So these are going to be in there. So they're going to be in like that. I will bring the other camera over in a minute. Okay, so it's bloody time consuming this is. Right, so that's. I've got to think about how we're going to plan this out now. Okay, right, okay. Right, that's working. I've just got to double check the cameras. That's okay. That should be white. Not that's it. That's better. Not something like a opaly. This is where you should have somebody you can actually pay them like the minimum wage, right, to help you out, right, and do all your dremeling for you, and then basically show he or she how to actually mount these, how to actually glue these together. Okay, let's crack on. It's a bit noisy, I know, but another 16 to go now. Oh my God. Well, where we basically got to this cut, and then we very carefully onto it. On that though, I think I'm going to take a chair over because as I said, it's not ideal for doing this on here because, you know, if it's 10 mil, it's no do me, but 5 mil, you know, it's just different apart. I know it's a bit monotonous, I'm sorry guys. Right, so far we've actually done a paltry sum of 5 at the moment. Okay, let's crack on. planning on bursting into here because I've got that bloody station cable almost across the doorway. That's right there, so don't tear too much off. Oh, I didn't think you come here to do like non-stop reveling. I'm sorry about this, but it has to be done. It's not a bit of a tedious job, but you've got to do it, you know what I mean? You know, you've got to get out of it. back over here, so see how many we've got to do. We've got 1, 2, 2, 4, 6. We've got 8 so far, so we've got another 12 to go. Oh boy. I hope you can feel like on camera 3. Yeah, I think you can. Just making sure you get like a. I'm trying to get you to be in there, like exactly in the craft with me. That's working. That raised bone there is actually working. So you put that on stuff. Got flat at the top end. Rather than not banging hell. He's level as well, and the other one decided to die on me. First bit was running into it, and making funny noise. I thought, oh no, I need to got a hole in it. That's 3 I've gone through over the last what, 2017, that's 4 years. Ten more to go. Go on, Kelly. Oh, no. There we are, state my hands. That's only about 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, 2, 4, 6, 7. Oh, okay, another 10 to go, folks. You see, the old Dremel, which is down here, needs to go to the great toolbox in the sky. That's what it has, it has this holder. And I don't think that can actually fit in there. I will try, I won't chuck it out until I know, because that's a pain in the arse to try and get into. Let's see if I can try and get into this. Hang on, might be able to use that because that will actually stop it vibrating against the sand booth. Of course, hopefully I'll make it got access to the power. Right, I can see the sand bell. This is going to like wear out very soon. Speed it up a bit. That's better. Right. So it's these inside edges are pain in the butt to get rid of get sand properly without stuffing it. you've got, I do have to take a respite on this. No, I've got one, okay. Just going to take a rest every now and again because like you constantly use it, right? You do get like a bit of like a, you know, like the first signs of like white finger syndrome, which is basically vibration, you know, sort of vibrations. If you constantly use like a tool, a drill or breaker or even like that Dremel, like, or sander, like they sort of vibrate, you can actually get like vibration white finger, and it's, you know, it's basically like, you know, cause like, you know, your finger to go white. You know, so basically got to, you know, got to basically say, they say excess is daily use. You know, 3 hours a day or something like that. So how many go? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's 7. I mean, to be honest, I could have actually done this before I streamed this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and basically just get along with like the assemble. But I decided to show you that when you're doing something like this, you know, there's a lot of prep work, a lot of fabricating, a lot of cutting, a lot of like, you know, heartache. Sometimes it can go right, sometimes it can go totally, you know, tits up, pink tongue or wrong. And I'm basically showing you like starting from like say a bit of EVA foam to getting this all done from like, you know, if you don't, I mean, luckily I prepared that sort of first hand. You don't want me to actually cut one and basically go over to there to the Dremel at camera 3, right? And then go back again. Might as well do the whole lot in one hit. So we're nearly there. So we've got another 2, 4. Let's have a double check where we go. 5, 10, another 7 to go, folks. I'm going to state that sand booth, it's working. It's actually literally keeping the dust where it should be. Yeah, so you've got an overhead view of the Dremel, of the Dremel. That's all right. Right, let's crack on. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some surgical gloves on to at least get rid of some of the dust, because every time I go and have a shower after basically one of the things, I probably look like a coal miner. Yeah, I've probably got like a bit of dust on the old upper lip, because every time I go to have a shower, right, literally like the water goes black, and the dust, you can, you know. Right. There we go. 5 more to go. Right, I suppose I've got to keep an eye on that condition of that sanded dowel because that's about to wear. I've got probably got another lump for one more chain. Here we go, right, slow. Three more to go. more. Two more. And last one. Oh, good thing I don't have the microphone near to the Dremel because that actually makes a hell of a lot of noise. You know, laptop's up here with the microphone. Right, let's crack on this last one and basically wrap this up. There we are. State of my gloves. Okay, there to test this. Okay, let's put these back there. Chair back in there. Let's just move this camera away from the sandy booth. I hope that's it. Clear. Right, I can put this baby back here. There we are. So you've got better things. You've got like 2 cases in view. I use this inspiration from. I watched it once on YouTube. Right, Woodstock video, Woodstock footage from 1969, but it had actually double cameras. Right, so what we're going to do here, we've got our hot air gun. We're just basically going to give it a blast with some hot air, so it literally seals it up and actually basically extrude it just a fraction without snapping it. So we've got it on a, we're going to put it on a medium blast. We're going to just do 2 of these to start off with. That gives it a nice shine when it comes to paint. And it's basically sealed up the, this is quite porous EVA foam. It has the tendency to take paint up if you don't prime it properly. Or you don't prime it at all. So what we're going to do, we're going to start mounting the little one to the actual plate. So here, 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 here and here. And the way to do that, blast this with a bit more air, with hot air. Right, so just going to put these out of the way. Those out here. So we've got 2 here. So we get back to this. Okay, where is my? Just basically take this off. Just going to get my turntable and get this to work. So what I'm going to, reason why I got the little turntable around, it's like a cake turntable. You can actually see it from that sort of, you can see it from that angle, or for the camera around, you can see it from that angle. So put that way. So I'm just going to leave it over the edge a bit. Now what I'm going to do is, with these 2 chains here, they're going to go each side like that. Okay. So I'm going to basically do it that way. So they're going to be permanently stuck in, so they're not going to sort of float around as such. So where we've got, I'm just going to basically put just a tiny little nick there. Okay, so you can see it's got a split. You get the my scissors, snap it. Okay, so basically it comes apart. Right, we don't, you know, we've done that intentionally. So then all we have to do is actually literally align it up, particularly here. Okay. Now what we're going to do is, we can actually sort of sand it down a bit so it will fit if we wanted to, particularly around here. So because like we've got this bit of the way here, we're just going to give those top period, the apex there, trim. So now we've actually got a little bit more leeway to actually get this to be aligned. This is like tricky bits. It's like so about there, I should say. What we're going to do, we're just going to literally draw 2 lines each side of this. This is going to be this is when you like need a second person to actually hold this for you while you actually do the turn. So we've got those lines there. Now I'm not basically going to go mad, basically go and get my cordless drill out and actually drill a pilot hole. So all I'm going to do is basically hold this very steady and put a nick, cut a square out, not too loose, not too tight. If it's too loose, it's no problems because I will actually literally seal this up behind with some foam clay, right, or some foam, so it literally will secure. This is like the anchor point. Now I could actually put this in warbler, because I've got to do the whole lot in thermoplastic, right, and I don't think I've got enough to actually clad this from top to toe, because that's, you know, warbler's okay, but you can actually, I could actually place this on like a sheet this size, and then that way with the shiny side, right, heat it up and then tuck underneath, so it's not going to basically be splitting apart when it cools down. Right, so there we are. So we've got that out. It's cool. Right. So that can actually go into here. Now, if it's basically not doing as we say, never mind. You know, there's always a will. There's always a way. So we can actually trim just a fraction here. I don't want to sort of cut more on here. There we are. So that's one done so far. But that we're going. I've done a dry fit. It's when you actually fit it all together. I used to do it with airplane models when I was a child. I used to dry fit them. Because I used to go the whole hog and actually do every single bit, pre-paint the lot, and then put it all together and make sure like paint and glue don't mix, otherwise it becomes a yucky mess. A lot of people just rushed into it, just put everything on it without doing, then basically painting it. Sort of once it's done. I did next door for his ex-wife. She was a teacher, and they were doing like history of the World War II, and they were going about like United States Air Force. So I donated a B-17 plane. This is about that big. It was huge. It had every single detail, all the paint, the works, you know. And I didn't go and buy the enamel paint. I ended up using my acrylic paints in my art box. I don't mind those enamel paints, they are stink. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take this out, okay? And I'm just going to get a blob of contact adhesive on the end of these pieces I've just sliced through. Very small piece, and then steady. Okay, so one there and one there. So I'm going to keep these apart, because if they stick together right, I'm going to have trouble going to actually knock up a new one. So I'm just going to basically loosely put some decorator's tape there. Go on, Ben, I feel like Blue Peter, I do. So just going to need that to go tacky, touch dry, and then actually slot it straight in there, and then I can actually literally probably put some more around. I'm going to put some more inside the hole, so it's literally just a tiny fraction, because otherwise I'm going to have like pain in the arse trouble to try and get the horrid glue, because that's okay, because I think I'm going to be able to get that off, you know. I do have some tweezers somewhere. So there we are. These pens, because I had a really big organisation when I actually moved back in here and actually put everything in its place. And sometimes when you're actually working, it doesn't it does not work sometimes because sometimes forget where stuff is. Where are those tweezers? Right, so just basically take that baby off there. And then that's in now. Perfect. So that's one. So we've got to do the same thing for the other side. So there we are. Okay. Can you see that? I think you can. I'm just going to basically lower this camera so you don't basically get some sort of. There we are. That's better. Now we're going to leave this glue to dry around here, but when we come to prior to actually painting, we'll sand that glue back so you've got like a very clean surface, because when I start basically fucking around with I start basically mucking around with WD-40 on it, and just, you know, it completely dissolve all of the foam, and then I've got a whole lot falling apart. It happened before at Lady Deathwing's breastplate. Sorry, not breastplate, the upholders. Seriously, it did. I think I might have basically go and get like a very tiny bit of wet and dry 15 grit sand, 1500 grit paper to do that. So we're going to do the same with this, and just basically literally do like a guiding cut into there. So what we're going to do, we're going to do the same. We're going to basically cut the apex off there. And we're just going to move that to the side like that. Then what we can do as well, you can get the mark, then get like a pen, just do a little bit of a guideline, like so. I said Bob Ross or something like that, or definitely not Blue Peter. Here's one I produced earlier. I used for this, you can use glue, but I use sticky back plastic for speed. All that time in the 80s when the toy company bought all of the Thunderbirds back in production, because I've got Thunderbird 2, right, which is a Dinky. It's Dinky or Corgi, right? Metal one, not the plastic ones that is now, right? And it was in blue. It wasn't in the green, the Thunderbirds. And when I bought them all back, they bought gift sets at Hamleys for Thunderbirds. And what happened was, Hamleys bought out a thing that cost you quite a bit of money. It was, I think, about 40 odd quid or something. I'm not sure. I might have to check that out on Google, but you know, Google it if you must. And it was a Tracy Island, right? You know, when you got like the Thunderbird one coming out of the swimming pool, the rock face sort of comes down and actually goes. Rock face comes down, out comes Thunderbird 2. All the trees fold down to actually move up to like a platform. And the platform raises, got like a little blast thrust shield at the back of Thunderbird. Thunderbird 2, and it goes up in the air. And you've got the one for Thunderbird 3, which is the rocket. So Thunderbird 3 was inside Thunderbird 2. Thunderbird 4, right, was actually the one that basically came in sort of like a massive big circle. It basically come up, right? And of course they run out. They I think what happened was I think they actually ran out of stock because it's so popular, right? Because I think what's happened is I think on Channel 4 at the time, probably on Channel 4 on Saturday mornings, they actually basically show like the original 1960s Thunderbird, and so basically decided to bring it all back, right? Because like the original 1960s ones are very collectible items, you know, still in the boxes. I've still got my James Bond cards now, it's my Goldfinger one, my old Aston Martin DB5, and my Kojak Buick from 1970, and my Starsky and Hutch Gran Torino, which are still in the boxes. Anyway, so they brought that as Tracy Island, right? And to how to actually make it on Blue Peter, right? Out of toilet rolls, right? And it's one of the, you know, a lot of people would actually try to ape what Blue Peter did to actually did, and some of them basically did a good job. That is, I basically trimmed it too much in it, which is my fault for me not concentrating. Seriously, my fault. But just leave that to cool down. We're going to basically put like this same one in there. So we're going, that's drying off now. That will go off eventually. Right, I need to actually charge my phone up now. Right, it's 4:30 at the moment. Okay, I've done this. I've done all of this in 2 hours and 8 minutes just to get this done. Bloody hell! I've tried to actually bring more stuff. Tried to actually get more done. So me rabbiting on. I do apologise. Well, you don't want silence, do you? So I think. Right, I'm going to put the WD-40 on that nozzle because it's basically literally drying out. Not like last year when I had to basically literally put the hot air gun to actually because like the stuff was basically not very good at cold temperatures. And let's just basically put this, keep this spread out, keep this out like that. So literally it's not going to basically stick. So let's go get that WD-40 for that. Right, here we go. Right, so WD-40 on the nozzle. Just leave that to break down and basically wipe it off with a blue towel. I could have actually used a wood burning tool to actually put this through, but I don't, you know, because wood burning tools that second to actually burning through anything that's basically got like a that's combustible. Now what we can do, once this glue is actually hardened, we can actually try and reinforce that so it's not going to come off, it's not going to go anywhere. Right, just basically give this a wipe because I had an accident with Heathrow days, doing Heathrow, and what happened was we had these spray like spray tanks, right, with the sort of like foam glue, right. You know, just it's a bit like it's like contact adhesive, but you know, as soon as it basically like hits cold air to actually go off, like it basically turns into like a standard foam. And I was cleaning out some of the stuff, cleaning out the nozzles with like plastic hoses. And luckily I had a pair of glasses on, right, and this bloody valve, the valve came off and like making glue just sprayed straight to my face. So basically went straight, it was an accident, you know, and of course it's my fault. It went in the accident, but I was okay about it, but I spent ages in the bath trying to get rid of all this dried glue off my skin. It was all over me, it was like I got like a skin disease. And I had a safety thing about it, and it's an example of what happens. That if you don't have glasses that you're actually using like something to actually pressurise, that's basically going to spray out excess glue, right? And if it hits your eyes, you are screwed. I'm going to think when it's empties, I'm going to whenever I need to refill it, I'm going to give this a good old clean out. Right, so just going to leave that for a few minutes to basically literally solidifies properly, because I'll start doing it and it's just basically going to go wrong. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to get some tiny little, I'm going to make sure I've got this right, so I'm just going to measure this up. Now I'm just going to put that there so you can actually see it. And that camera can just move down a section. There we go. Okay, right. Now these are going to be permanently in there. Now, with the other parts of Lady Deathwing, for example, the dragon talk, you know, with the chain I've done on like the headpiece and on the pauldron horns, right? They're permanent. Now, I am actually worried about, say, just trying to. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. Now, what it is, we've got to think about when you basically got to take this to a hotel, you know, in a suitcase. You want it to basically come back, you know, leave your craft room and also be, you know, ready to wear. You don't sort of realise that something's broken during transit. And so what I'm doing is with these chains here, this chain will be able to be removed. Right, so we're going to get like another piece done, so it's going to be for both sides. So, pardon me. So we've got two pieces of 5mm foam. what we're going to do is going to get hot air to each one of these. If this doesn't work, I'm going to use a thinner foam. So I don't want it to be too thin. It's basically not to fail. We're basically going to get this foam and stretch it. Okay? Then, hoping, now this is going to go that way. Okay, so you can see what we're doing here by that one there, the top one. Sorry, you can't see, that's the part. So that one here, so we've got the LED ring right. So that one there is going to be take it off. So what we can do here is actually extrude this a bit by heating it quite a lot. If this doesn't work, I'm going to basically do a bigger length. So we're going to get our chain. So I need to actually see how much I do need, because right, so that's not going to be enough, so it needs to be really, really linked. So we're going to actually start again. This time we actually double the length of it. We actually had that length at 50 mil or 5 centimetres. So we're going to literally go a little bit more over the top. It's better to be over or under. If it's over, you've got like excess amount of centimetres and millimetres to actually to place it. It happens all the time. So we're going to make get 2 of these again. A brand new sheet. It's nice to have to do a stock check of how much foam I've got. Right, so we've done this. We've done this at 10, 1 centimetre to 10 millimetres, 5, 80 mil or 8 centimetres. So where we've got the, sorry guys, I'm basically rabbiting on again, I do apologise. Right, so we've got the chain, so it's going to be that way. So it's going to be that way. So I need to have it, I need to get this removed as best as I can. So right, okay, let's just see how we're going to do this. This is going to be, this is fun, this is like the wrong angle. Right, so that one's that way. So that one's got to go in there. Ah, right, hang on. Genius, Andy. Right, so we're going to do the same as before. Just nick that like that, but just basically hack off one piece at a time, each side, so that because like we're going to be painted that way. Okay. Then what we do is we can actually go back into here. I know it's a bit like sort of joining. Then instead of using like scissors, then go cut that. right down. Okay, now we've got this like V shape there, like a zip. Right, so all we need to do is get some contact adhesive, but we need to glue that into place because like this seems to be like a sort of giant jigsaw puzzle. You know, it's like a sort of a construction kit. Right, so we're going to spread that just a bit there, each side. Right, keep that open there, but do the other. That one. And that one. Well, there's a solution. There is never a problem. Now that does look a bit puny. That looks rather fragile, I know, but just going to leave that to do its magic, because what we'll do is I'm going to put some strength in it just a bit with some foam clay, because I want to say that's going to be our removal loop. Okay, so that's going to go over like that, right? And then what we're going to do is we will have to actually tidy this up just a fraction. We're just basically beveling it like that. Once that's dry, then we actually put some Velcro on there, right? So we want to try and, well, it's just to basically remove it. This is the sort of one we've got to remove when we want to basically pack the cosplay away, right? So we literally put it like that, and then we put some Velcro glue. Put some Velcro here, that side, right? So that literally clips it into place. We just basically go literally motion. You probably think I'm making this up. Because my boss at the props department, film studios, mate, right? Because he's old school Star Wars, right? He used to all tell me all the Stormtrooper masks without 3D printers, right? Back in the 1970s, right? They had to actually build metal casting molds, right? Which I had to actually put into like heat up to actually form over to actually make a cast, right? And then actually do like oven forming fiberglass, right? To actually make the actual mask mold, right? And basically, literally, the people used to go in there with like the fiberglass to actually make the mask, or a liquid latex, you know, with a hardener. Right, this is like 1970s, way before like 3D printers. I mean, he's old school. You know, he hasn't sort of, you know, and funny enough, he's loved cosplayers. You know, if he had his way, right, he would have cosplayers working in the props department. Seriously, that's what he said. He thinks they're worth their weight in gold. I'm not going to actually put too much pressure on that. That's getting solid now, so we will have to actually put some little bit of I could have used hot glue. That would have actually gone off PDQ. Trouble that goes everywhere, and you have to actually spend ages trying to actually clean it, you know, get it all cleaned off certain areas you don't want it. There you go, there I'm complaining again. So that is going to go there. Right. Now it's just basically literally convenient. So I don't want to sort of pack this belt away when we go to the Comic Con, right? And find out half all these chains ripped off. Whereas I can actually in the hotel room, I can get, you know, our friend from the hospital can get her ready, and we can just clip it to that when she's wearing the belt. Trying to make it as portable as possible. It's like props. One of the people I know on Instagram, right, her and her other half, right, was dressed as Warhammer cosplay, right, Elvian, right, like paladin types, right, and they basically got between them. Well, they actually built it, they actually got it made. It was a 3D printed hammer, and I basically literally was up, you know, she told me to hold it for a while, right? Boy, was it heavy! It's actually pure 3D printing, right? It's amazing. It looks an amazing prop. But if you're around at a comic con, right, in that sort of cosplay with that prop, right, boy, it would get heavy. You know what I mean? You know, that's why I basically decided to actually make both my Deathwing's mace and Lady Deathwing's mace, right, as light as possible. You know, easy. You know, get yourself some 32mm PVC pipe from your local DIY shop, right? Only about what, £6 for like I think it's about 2 metre or 1.5 metre, 1500mm length, right? Just basically cut it to suit. You know, and then that, you know, I'm not saying I'm perfect, right? Don't get me wrong, right? It's just that, you know, if you don't, you may want to make something that's epic, but it's you that has to carry it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's you that has to actually carry the prop, right? Right? You don't want to sort of regret it because you know you don't want a sort of a heavy prop or heavy armour. You know, you've got to make it as light as possible. You've got to be comfortable for a whole day from like say what 10 o'clock if you've basically got party ticket till 6 o'clock when the actual event closes. You know, and then what do? Do you go straight to the after show party cosplay? You know, until 4 o'clock in the morning, or do you decided to actually go back to the hotel, take all the arm off because your actual shoulders are actually sore as hell or aching like hell because you've got you've been casting around a load of foam, warbler, armour all day. You don't. I mean, the comic cons like with say scars, right, is like sort of a way of life. You know, I've had like sort of bruises on my first cosplay I did as putrid. So we're going to basically tidy that up. So that's one done. That's how I'm going to basically do it because otherwise that's going to snap. I will actually tidy that up a bit. I'll take it off and maybe put it against the Dremel so it's a little bit sort of less conspicuous. I had to make some additional, off topic here, I had to make some additional adornments for the belt for my Deathwing, right? Because I decided to basically look a bit naked. So I did this over 2 days. Just finished the painting of it. Put some nice. Well, I got to do like the underside of the sealer. So that's basically been sealed. That's why it's got this nice gloss to it. So it looks like even by a cosplay handler, he says this looks so convincing like metal. Oh, really? Yeah. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to basically put this through the Dremel very slowly so it actually looks a little bit less obvious. so here we go. Right, so just basically made it a little bit tidier. And all that needs to do is go, whoop, click that onto there. And if I need to actually move this just to forward, I can actually put the hot air gun, but I don't leave the glue up to dry. Sorry, the glue to solidify a bit more. Now what I need to do now is actually do that one normal way. Now the only drawback is with this, doing these chains like this, linking them this, is I have a problem when you actually have to basically paint the bastard things, because, you know, particularly when I'm in contact with flexi paint, they do tend to stick like hell, so you have to actually literally. Right, I'm just going to do this last one because it's now, let's have a look, this is now 4 to 5 UK time, and I need to go and get some dinner. There'll be more progress tomorrow, believe you me, guys. So all we need to do now is actually completely assemble this part of the belt detail now. Just going to get like a bigger bit of decorator's tape, because I want to keep these apart. I say constantly, as soon as I basically got more, actually basically, we're going to basically do one side at a time. It's perfect. What I'll do is, I can actually basically bring this out like that, put this together, and actually basically make sure it does stick. There's going to be like a seam now, you know. I don't know how we can do it. I mean, I've done this before with as I said, with like this items here. Right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry it's basically been a bit of a long ordeal, you know. So literally you got first hand of me knocking up a load of chains for this part, the costume, and of course, you know, it is, to be honest, it was a bit monotonous of doing them on, you know, doing a whole lot of 20 of them on a Dremel, you know, but we are getting there, folks. So what we're going to do, we're going to tie this up with some foam clay, which I'll probably do tomorrow. That's okay. I need to do some more Dremel, but it's just that, you know, when we can pat this away, voila, that can come on straight off without having to basically, you know, basically put it into a bag. Okay. It's the only way I've been doing it, because I don't particularly want this to basically damage. All my hard work's only gone down the pan because I didn't think. Well, I'll blame yourself, you know. A good workman does not play his tools. Just blame the person who's actually operating them. You know, making dress decisions so they don't do your work. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching, even though there's probably like one viewer. I'll have to go now in a minute. So, have a good evening on this Saturday. It is now, what's that? 30th of October. Some of you might be celebrating Halloween today because it's Sunday tomorrow. You know. So, have a good evening, and I'll be back on tomorrow around about 2 PM UK time. So, bye for now.